What up guys, welcome back to another vlog. Today I'm gonna try to get my PC working as a agent harness and basically a server. I usually use my MacBook Pro for everything, but I started running local models and I just want a dedicated machine for that. The thing I want though is I never want to have to turn on the screen on my PC. Like I never want to have to actually use the mouse and keyboard for the PC. I just want to control everything from my MacBook Pro. So that is the goal for today. Just trying to get this PC workable as an agent. And I'm also going to ignore the fact that I haven't posted a video in like a few months. So I don't know how this vlog is going to turn out, but I just wanted to make it. So let's get it. Let's go. Okay, so I pretty much got it working. I have Claude code running on my PC and then also Claude code running on my Mac. I set up a server on my PC using, it's a Linux server. It's like W shell or whatever that thing is. That lets you run Linux on your PC. But what I just realized is that I probably could just like keep a Claude code agent up on my PC and then remote control into it from wherever, like from my Mac, from my phone. And that's how I could run stuff on the Windows. But either way, I'm just gonna keep going with this because it's also installing local LLM stuff like Ollama and some other stuff, and it's almost done. So I'm gonna mess around with it for a little bit and then hopefully try to get some long running agents going good. Let's go. Okay, so I've been messing around with it. It turns out the easiest thing for me to do is like just remote control into that PC and run Claude code from this browser over here. But I do have like the server running and I got Ollama set up. So now I've been working on a long running agent, and this is a machine learning engineer agent harness, meaning it's like an agent that works on its own trying to solve machine learning problems. And I'm just starting it off on some Kaggle competitions, which is basically like competitions for data scientists. And so far I've run 3 trials over here on my Mac, and now I'm getting them to run on the PC. Also guys, I made this mug. If you don't know, I'm also building a Pomodoro timer where you can unlock collectibles just by focusing. I'm going to put this mug in there right now so you can unlock it. Yeah, that website is boostfocustimer.com. But yeah, and now coincidentally, I'm gonna go get some coffee. And dude, I love remote control. If you don't know, by the way, you can control Claude Code on your computer from your phone. So I'm gonna go get coffee and I'm gonna be still vibe coding from my phone. Let's get it. Yeah, everyone knows that, but if you didn't, now you know. Okay, so I got it working and I started running my long-running agent on the PC. So let me show you. So basically this is the UI for my long-running agent. I honestly can't remember if I told you what it is, but yeah, I told you. It's a machine learning engineer agent harness. And I just want to show you this. So this is what I actually look at while it's running. Let me zoom in real quick. So these are all of the experiments that the agent is trying. It obviously doesn't go this fast. This is just a playback, but it basically goes to, it is competing in a Kaggle competition, just a test one, not an actual competition. And Kaggle is a website with competitions for data scientists. And so you're trying to build a machine learning model to make predictions about stuff. And what this one is it's trying to predict the price of a house given some other information about that house and other stuff too. And how the agent works is like it'll try something and it'll look at the score, and then based on that experiment, it will try something else. And so it tries a bunch of different types of models, like different families of model types. And sometimes it'll do like a different family, and sometimes it'll go deeper on one specific family. Like right here, it's going more deep on this type of model, but it's also trying other stuff just to make sure that, you know, it's not going too deep on the wrong thing and hitting a local optimum. So this is what it looked like. This was the housing price prediction, and it did pretty good. So it came up with a model that basically got to like a strong performance. So, you know, not as great as like all the maximum top performers who are training on big, you know, compute clusters and all that kind of stuff. It would almost be impossible to get that good on just a normal GPU. But it does get to like what an actual data scientist would get to if it had my compute power. So yeah, so I stopped this competition, this agent, and I'm just starting to run the next agent, which is basically just working on a different competition. So not the housing prices, but something else. And that's running right now. So in a second, it'll give me a link and I can look at the progress of it. But yeah, this stuff is running on my PC, not my Mac. So that way I have my Mac for, you know, all the stuff that I actually need it for, like editing and all the other coding stuff that I'm doing. Sick so far. Okay, so I'm gonna get that going. Okay, so the new one is live. Let's open that up. This one is not as far along, and it's actually not doing as well as the other one, but I'm just gonna let it keep running and see how far it gets. But yeah, if you didn't get anything else, basically each one of these nodes is an experiment. So it's like doing experiments, doing science on its own. That's awesome. That's what all the big guys are doing. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to do that. Let's see if we can do something. And it's awesome. By the way, if you guys didn't know, I used to work at Meta. It was called Facebook back then. And I was a data engineer on a machine learning team. So I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm an expert at machine learning, but I definitely know what's going on. And with AI, like, you can do so much more. Because if you don't understand something, you could just ask questions. And that's how you learn, right? So yeah, for fun, man. All right, I'm gonna eat some lunch. Let's get it. Okay, so I just added one new thing. This is the current status of the spooky author experiment. And what that is just really simple. It's like you have to make a model to guess which author wrote a string of text. And they happen to be like horror genre authors, like books, like Edgar Allan Poe, for example. So you have to guess, the model has to guess who wrote it. For this one, a good score is lower. Right now it's at 0.43, and a good score would be like 0.3 or better. That's what I'm aiming for. And it was stuck at 0.5 for like the longest time. By the way, how you read this chart, I know it's even small for me to see, so I know it's hard to see. But how you read this is like, this is the first experiment, this node right here. And then, let me play it for you actually. Okay, see how it's like running different experiments? And it keeps branching off. So that's how it works. And it was stuck at 0.5 for like the longest time. But after about 10 hours, which you can see these stats right here, 10 hours, it finally got to something less than 0.5, which is like, 0.43 or whatever. So hopefully it'll keep going down that route. It should. There's a bunch of logic that I had to pick and kind of tune a little bit in order to determine where the agent would choose to experiment next. So for example, if it's over here, it probably makes sense to keep going down this route because this has been successful and this is the best score so far. But if that is a local minimum, meaning like it's only the best over here, if you went over here and did some more, then you could get even deeper and better, just better. So you gotta like understand how it's navigating, choosing where to look next. And I love that problem because that is like the productivity problem. Like you always have to think about what you're gonna do next. You don't know if it's gonna work. Some stuff is like less risky than other stuff, but that's what we think about like all the time. So that's why I like working on this kind of stuff. Okay, so I also built this version, which just started. Hopefully it's running. And the only difference between this one and this one is that this agent can search the web. So this agent it can't search the web. Just has to go off of like how good the harness is and how good the model is. And again, it's a 14 billion parameter model, so it's like small. It's not good. It's v4, however you pronounce it, from Microsoft. Okay, so this one can search the web. So obviously it can look up like any questions that it thinks would be helpful for wherever it's at in its research process. Usually you don't want to do search the web kind of stuff because you're testing how good your harness is. But for practicality's sake, like it would be cool to have, just an agent that could do this and search the web. So I'm just gonna see how much better it does, if any, and see how they're different. I'm gonna ask it, what did it find in the web search? Okay, it only found one relevant search result, but let's just see how it goes. I could try to fix it because I guess it was querying some weird stuff, like nothing to do with machine learning. Probably because of the title or something. But I'm gonna see how it goes with, because it searches the web every experiment, so maybe it will improve or just, we'll see how it goes. Okay, I just ate dinner and I have an update on the web search version of the machine learning engineer agent harness. Okay, so it ran about like 6 different experiments so far. It's going 9 per hour, and it's been going for about half an hour. And the first 4, except for this failed one, were like terrible. They were 0.7, 0.7, 0.7, 0.9, which is like, even this one was getting 0.5 at least. And again, lower is better on this. But then all of a sudden out of nowhere, it got 0.36, which is still not great, but this one is still on 0.45, and it's been running for like 10 hours. So this one does not have web search, and this one does. But I can't remember if I told you guys this, but it did get past the 0.5 and got to 0.45. So hopefully it keeps going. But I'm happy with this. So let's see how it progresses.
Kansas City is set to host 6 different matches this summer, and it's where we get our first look at the defending champion for a husband. To get to you and to get in here.
The experience the card that's remarkably rewarding. Shades sapphire.
To build your life back up, the key to tools are precisely.
Okay, so last update of the day, the agent with web search got up to 0.31, that was like my goal for this one. It's like not a bad score. It's basically like a data scientist who can, operate, but it definitely could, be better. But it's still, it's only like 10 experiments in. And it's only been like an hour for this. For this one over here, it's still stuck on 0.43. I want this one to get up to 0.3 or something, but all right, that's gonna be it for the vlog, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Instagram, JakeBo_. Check out the app, boostfocustimer.com, and let's get it. Let's go, let's get it. Boom. All right, peace.